Production support for the weekly special is provided by
Smithfield Communications, serving southern Indiana with high-speed fibre gigabit internet for businesses, hospitals and homes. Smithfield Fibre Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement.
IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobine Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobine to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you.
If you can believe it, the end of summer is here in Indiana.
But it's not too late to make some great summer memories. Take a trip into the past with a new memory chain. Explore new incredible dimensions of wearable art. Discover Indiana's very own homegrown hops. And meet a country girl turned rocker when Maudlin joins us in the studio. There are so many stories to share.
So stay tuned for a new weekly special.
Welcome to the weekly special. I'm Erica Sagone.
And I'm Daryl Neer.
Oh, Daryl, you look really dapper.
Well, thank you, Erica. I felt inspired by our newest memory chain. Though almost a century ago, the style feels timeless.
So far, all of the photographs in our memory chain were taken within a span of 7 years, 1919 to 1926. This period in America's past has alternately been called the Jazz Age or a return to normalcy. People were looking to establish order in their lives, even as they craved self-expression and escape. Striking a balance between the two required a steady gaze at what lay ahead, a daily commitment to practicing rituals that held personal meaning. Who knows? Cultivating a style might help you appear just a little bit larger in an ever-shrinking world. Standing tall, standing out, hoping to become not just another face and not just another crowd. This is the 8th annual meeting of the Men's Apparel Club of Indianapolis. A wide range of ages here with what you might say is the sturdy thread that binds them all together. Their very first gathering as a club was held in 1918. They had all borne witness to it, shedding tears of celebration and of grief. That one long, wide year saw both the end of the Great War and the onset of the worldwide influenza epidemic. Together, these two events killed almost 1 million Americans, the vast majority of them healthy men between the ages of 20 and 40. A brother, a close friend, the butcher at the corner grocery. So sudden, so random, with a whole generation being constantly reminded, it could have been me. So after the funeral flowers wilted, after acceptance replaced the shock, came a shared realization among those who had survived. For some, it led to a firm resolution and a careful routine that would inform each remaining day of their lives. Small acts of courage, really, before stepping outside to see what the world might have in store for you today.
Erica, you see all of those pieces of men's style in that photo, and the hats, the timepieces, the cut of the coats, really are timeless and part of contemporary male's fashion.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if anything in fashion's really new. Well, from pocket watches to brooches, accessories are always evolving, and our next artist is helping to lead the way.
I think I've always been in love with jewelry. Oh my God, I can remember when I was like 4 or 5, going to a supermarket, I would steal all those twist ties from the bagging area and go home and twist things together and make bracelets and just, you know, intuitively and spontaneously create with whatever material was available at that time. I've always enjoyed the interactivity of jewelry as an art form and how, whether or not it's physically on the body or presented in space, it always seemingly alludes to the body. The span of human history, there's always been forms of adornment. And I really enjoy our connection with that intimate object and the preciousness of that object that jewelry can capture and then carry on from generation to generation. But what happens when you start to break that? What if a necklace is presented on the back instead of the front? What if a necklace can be a necklace, but it can also serve as a satchel? So I think there's many other things to be explored through jewelry. In very few other fields, the viewer is actually granted the liberty to interact with that in any sort of given space. When could you ever go up to a painting and just pick it up and go, huh, well, I want to walk around with this right now, you know? No one ever gets to have that kind of intimate interaction with that, and I think a lot of it is specifically craft fields. At the end of the day, we are small-scale sculptors, and I think jewelry is this perfect exploratory realm to investigate both avenues within one piece. Right now we're seeing a lot of a transition between the older traditional style of metalsmithing and what jewelry was to what it can be now and how it's experimented with and explored. I don't do a lot of pre-planning. A lot of it is my spontaneous and intuitive interaction and reaction to material, especially recently working with exotic woods. When you're turning these pieces, you're hitting a bunch of knots. You have to be very deliberate on what section you're carving at what time. I feel like I'm responding to what the wood is telling me and what its capabilities are and where exactly I can carve down to a thin point. And I think that's where more exciting things can happen, and you allow your process to be fluid rather than trying to force it and constrain it into something that it might just not want to be in. I just want people to interact with objects a little bit differently, and I want them to wear more extravagant objects on a daily basis. Jewelry dies and loses a little bit of its magical sparkle once it's locked away in a drawer for years. You know, you could be the most timid, shy person ever that wants no attention on you at any time, but I feel like once you put one of these pieces on and you start interacting with the public on a daily basis wearing these, it actually boosts your confidence level and makes you approach things differently. And I think a lot of that comes from either looks or interactions with other people commenting on it and starting a conversation. So, jewelry's awesome.
Vincent's art will be on exhibit in Sydney, Australia, but you can see examples by visiting Vincent's website. And Vincent has shown his art as jewelry all over the world, and it was really interesting to see the process that he goes through.
I mean, and they were such visually striking pieces, it's no
Yes.
wonder they're gaining attention.
Yeah.
Well, from craftsmanship you can wear to craftsmanship you can drink, craft beer is more popular than ever in Indiana, and nothing makes a beer truly Hoosier like homegrown hops.
At its most basic, from porter to IPA, beer is comprised of 4 ingredients: grains, yeast, water, and hops.
The beer itself, without hops, is very sweet. Hops are thrown in to kind of balance out that sweetness. They impart flavor, aroma, and bitterness into a beer.
And the vast majority of the hops grown in this country come from the Pacific Northwest, predominantly Washington State. They can grow wild, but cultivating them requires a substantial investment of time and money. So when Ryan Hammer started growing hops just outside of Knightstown, Indiana, he started fairly small, just 40 plants.
Kind of started out as, just an experiment really to see if hops would even grow in Indiana. I had a great first year. We had a good harvest off of just a few plants, not very much, but Sun King was nice enough to buy what little hops we did have off of us, and they did a wet hop version of one of their staple beers, Osiris. So that's kind of how we got started. It's amazing, when I first started researching, I kind of tried to find a reason why hops weren't being grown in Indiana, and I couldn't find one. It was, it was really surprising to me. They're mostly grown between the 30th and 50th parallel across, either hemisphere, and we fit right into that bill.
Now known as Three Hammers Farm, and with triple the plants in the ground, Ryan supplies locally grown hops to several central Indiana breweries, including Indianapolis's Indiana City Brewing Company.
Unfortunately, the first year that we met him, he had already sold everything to a couple other breweries in town except for about 7 pounds of Chinook. So we went ahead and bought that 7 pounds, and we were brewing a red ale we call Red Collar.
Currently, the hops are harvested by hand with the help of volunteers, mostly family and friends. The bines are dropped and the individual cones are picked. These Chinook hops are headed to Indiana City for a special batch of Red Collar.
The hops that are arriving today, we're brewing that same beer that he first helped us out with. It's Red Collar, and we're going to throw these wet hops right into the fermenter as soon as they arrive here at the brewery.
It's a process known as wet hopping, and it only works if you can get the hops from the field to the fermenter quickly.
And it kind of varies, but usually 24 hours is the max. You may be able to stretch it a little bit longer than that, but it's, you're just losing quality the longer that clock ticks. And that's the reason it hasn't been done here yet, is because, overnight freight shipping from the West Coast is not cheap. That was also another factor in me deciding that, hey, this is a good idea for Indiana, because this is bringing something that the brewers haven't really been able to use before in their beers.
Along with freshly picked wet hops, Three Hammers Farms offers whole cone hops that have been dried.
Once they're picked, you have to take them right over, be moving air across them, drying them out, maybe add some heat, and that'll get them down to where they're just very little, maybe 10%, 9% moisture at the most left in the cone.
Dried or wet, there's clearly a demand, as more and more follow in Ryan's footsteps.
There's quite a few, and there's more in the planning. It does take a few years for them to become established, and for the plants to mature to where they're actually getting a full yield. You're starting to see more start making those first steps with the expectation in the next few years that they're really going to be helping us out.
It started a few years ago with the craft brewers saying, we're the people brewing your beer. This is our beer, we're giving it to you. Hi, I'm the person who did it. And now we want to take that same idea to our end of the deal, to where, hi, I grew the ingredients for this beer.
It would be amazing to have all of our hops grown right here in Indiana. It'll take a while for it to get to that point, but there's definitely, you can see other areas of the United States where it's trending that way, where it's already happened.
You can follow along with the hops harvest by visiting threehammersfarms.com. And that Red Collar beer is on tap right now at Indiana City Brewing Company.
Well, Erica, with all the new flavors coming on the market, it's sometimes hard to navigate, but we are lucky to be joined by Nathan Finley, and Nathan is a professor at the Yogi's Beer School. And Nathan, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Well, we heard a little bit about what Sun King is doing with hops and beers, and we have their Osiris with us. And if you could talk a little bit about the role of the hop in this beer and what it brings to the beer itself.
Sure. Osiris uses 3 different types of California hops, West Coast hops, to get a nice citrusy floral flavor in their beer. They also use a dry hopping process, which is adding hops towards the end of the fermentation process to get some different aroma and flavors.
So here we are, we're going to taste this.
Sure.
Walk me through what I'm tasting.
Well, first you want to look at the color. It's nice, golden, light, see-through, filtered. Give it a smell. You can smell some of the hop flavors, a nice citrusy fruity
That's
smell.
really nice.
It is really
Yeah.
nice, isn't it? Now we get to taste it.
All right.
It's nice. It's subtle on the bitterness. It's an
really
American
is.
pale ale, not an IPA, so it isn't overwhelming with hops, but it's got a nice citrus floral flavor to it.
Now, if we look at the state of craft beer in Indiana, could you tell us a little bit about what's going on right now and some beers that you might point to?
Absolutely. It's exploding right now. Indiana craft beer scene has grown so much in the past few years. We've got Upland and BBC here in Bloomington that have been making wonderful beers. We've got Cutters that moved up to Indianapolis. We've got some new Function, and Big Woods just opened Quaff On here in town. We've got Fountain Square in Indianapolis. They just opened a new beer bar in Indianapolis with 130 taps.
And then we've got Three Floyds.
And Three Floyds is the be-all, end-all Indiana brewery right now.
What we have here, Nathan, is the Gumball Head. And so could you walk me through what we're going to be tasting?
Sure. This is an American wheat. When you put American in front of it, it usually means hops. We like hops here in America. This is single hopped with Amarillo hops, which is more of an aromatic hop. So it's still a light, sweet wheat beer, but it's got a little bit of
It has
that
a little
hop
more
bitterness.
bitterness than the Osiris that we
That's
tasted.
right.
That's really nice. Now, when we make the move to looking to the trends moving forward, what can we look forward to? Because we brought the Founders Rubaeus with us, and this beer, as I understand it, has no hops whatsoever.
That's right. It's a really interesting beer. It's to replace their old Cerise, which was a cherry fruit beer. This is a raspberry fruit beer. Most of the alcohol is produced from the sugar from the raspberries as opposed to the sugar from the hops from these other beers.
So as we taste this, could you tell me a little bit about the difference between this is a malt beverage, correct? And then we also see sours coming on. Is there a significant difference between the two?
There is a significant difference. Sours will have hops in them. This has absolutely none, but this is really very similar. Fruit beer. This is going to be a little sweeter. It's going to be a little less tart.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the lambics in some
Sure.
ways. Is that a fair comparison?
Yeah, those are fruit beers. Those are going to have a little bit more hops too, but
Okay.
absolutely a fair comparison.
Now, as someone who loves their beer, what really is standing out for you right now if you had to pick one that you really enjoy?
The Three Floyd Zombie Dust is just amazing right now. On the beer rating website, it's in the top 10 of the top 250 beers in the world, so it's really wonderful.
Well, Nathan, we appreciate you spending time and actually sharing these beers with us here today. And we know that there is so much more to discover, and you can learn more about the Yogi's Beer School by visiting yogis.com.
All right, well, we are going to clean up our mess here and take it to the side so that our next guest can get ready. She's a rising musical star from Columbus, Indiana. Meet Megan Maudlin.
I started taking voice lessons about 8. I had to. It's what fueled me. It's what drove me. But to be completely honest, doing a lot of soul searching, it was about being heard. High school came around. I'm kind of getting into this, very forward-thinking, kind of politically active person. And so, the best accessory for somebody who's politically active is an acoustic guitar, right? So my mom bought me one at 17, and I just remember sitting in my room learning as many chords and anything that I really could. So I've taught myself. I used to have stage fright really, really, really bad. I mean, I would literally go in my closet with a pillow and put the pillow underneath the closet door and sing to myself because I was so afraid somebody in my house would hear me. And it was really in college that kind of came up in my life because I was a trained opera singer by that time from 8 to 18, and I was going to go to the Jacobs School of Music and be an opera singer, and it's just what I was going to do. It goes down to the day to auditions, and I freeze. I just can't. And that's something that I had always wanted to do. And that is something that I will never let down because it'll drive me nuts that I never did that. But I think there was this drive behind me after that because I was so disappointed in myself that I wasn't confident enough to get up there and audition. Finding me was really just a lot of time and a lot of shows and a lot of practice. And coming to find that in this industry, as a female performer, especially a female with the acoustic guitar, they want you to sit down, they want you to look pretty, they want you to sing pretty, they don't want you to say anything controversial, and there's a lot of stuff that I used to write that was very afraid of what people thought. I wanted to be so politically active and so in your face because, I really believe this stuff, but I still really cared what you thought about me, at the same time. And it's like, you can't mix that, So about 2007, 2008, when my daughter's father and I split, after that was probably one of the most traumatic things I've ever been through. And after that, I wrote a whole album full of material. You get hurt in those situations and you kind of lash out in anger, and there's a little bit of that just like, I don't care, blah, and you got it out. But I can only write from what I know, and I just write from truth in my life. So when you're young and you're being a kid, the worst things are, oh, this boy doesn't like me, and I'm lamenting in song, but now it's stuff is so important, and just so there's the reasons to get so angry and reasons to get so upset and then so happy at the same time. So it's definitely grown with what I've been through, and publicly perform like that. It's therapeutic for sure. So it creates a hell of a lot of growth and a lot of comfort and repair that I've never really been able to get before. So there's something about telling everybody about my problems for some reason works for me.
See the beauty in the world.
And now, Megan Maudlin.
Keep on creeping down into my mind. I thought I told you the first time I didn't have the time, but there you were with your sweet words, telling me what I wanted to hear, whispering those empty lies into my lonely ear. Here's my heart, go on and break it. Here's our love, baby, we will no longer make it. Here's the empty words, you had to fake it. Here's my mind, baby, why don't you go on and take it? So here I am by my two hands, standing tall and proud. I don't need your stuff, baby, I don't live up on a cloud. Must be nice to live your life without self-honesty. I'm here to tell you, baby, you won't get a dime piece of me. Here's my heart, go on and break it. Here's our love, baby, we will no longer make it. Here's the empty words, you had to fake it. Here's my mind, baby, why don't you go on and take it? So I grab my right hand, girls, Jonesy and Lise. We'll take a fast car downtown and find some release. Don't try and mess with my girls, we'll knock you to your knees. Show you what a woman is made of, we'll have you begging please. Here's my heart, go on and break it. Here's our love, baby, we will no longer make it. Here's the empty words, you had to fake it. Here's my mind, baby, why don't you go on and take it?
Right, Megan, that was awesome.
Nicely done, Megan. Get the latest information on Megan's upcoming album and performance schedule by visiting her Facebook page.
And of course, don't forget you can see her entire performance and more on our website. Well, Daryl, that's all the time we've got, and that sure did go by fast.
Erica, when you add great beer, great music, you're going to have a great show.
That's for sure.
But before we leave, once again, Megan Maudlin.
My daddy told me not to take anything from anyone. My daddy told me not to take anything from you. Don't care who you are, fancy guitar, you go with no visible scar. I won't take anything from you, no, no, no. My daddy told me not to date a wine-colored man. to be your wife, serve you up every single day and night. I won't be that girl for you, no, no, no. My daddy told me not to date other musicians. My daddy told me they would make me choose. Don't wanna be the fan, always see with the man. I've got me an ulterior plan.
Production support for the weekly special is provided by
Smithville Communications, serving southern Indiana with high-speed fibre gigabit internet for businesses, hospitals and homes. Smithville Fibre Gigabit Technology. Tap the power.
IU School of Public Health Bloomington, addressing public health needs by preventing disease, promoting health, and improving quality of life across the state and around the world through research, teaching, and community engagement.
IU Credit Union, now offering mobile access to IU Credit Union accounts, helping account holders check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills through their mobile devices. Available through the IU Credit Union apps for iPhone and Droid. The Al Cobain Recognition Endowment Fund, established by friends and family of Al Cobain to support jazz initiatives on WTIU and WFIU. And WTIU members, thank you